Hey everyone, it's John Was Never. Today I'm going to be reading more of Diary from a Kid Hot Mess. Today I'm going to be reading pages 9 through 19. Grandma's turning 75 soon, and my mom and her sisters told Grandma they wanted to throw a big party for her birthday. But Grandma says she doesn't want anyone to go to any trouble for her, and she doesn't have the energy for a party like that anymore. Then Grandma said what would make her really happy is if everyone else went to Ruddy Neck Island, where the family used to vacation back when Mom and her sisters were kids. Grandma said the only gift she wanted was a photo of the whole family on the beach with the old lighthouse in the background, like the picture she keeps in her apartment. I guess Mom and her sisters couldn't say no to Grandma's birthday request because they'd feel too guilty. So, just like that, everybody's summer plans got turned upside down, which proves Grandma is the one pulling the strings in our family. I'm not looking forward to this trip though, because I'm really not a beach person. But Mom says we'll make happy family memories, and she even booked the same house they stayed in as kids to make the vacation extra special. From the picture, the beach house looks a little small to me, and there were a whole lot more people in the family now than there were when Mom and her sisters were young. But what I'm really nervous about is the combination of people going on vacation together. Mom and her sisters only see each other a few times a year, and there's a reason for that. Whenever they're together, all they do is fight. And sometimes it gets so bad between them that Grandma has to step in and break things up. So I want to say for the record that this whole trip is a bad idea. The way I see it, a family vacation is like a recipe and some ingredients just don't mix. Tuesday. Mom's been trying to get me and my brothers excited by showing us old photo albums from her family vacations on Ruddy Neck Island. But every so often, there's a page where someone was cut out of a picture. Mom explained that if one of my aunts dated a boy and they broke up, Grandma would cut them out of the photo. That's because she feels like family photo albums are only for family. All of a sudden, something I always used to wonder about made sense. When I was little, I found an envelope filled with cutouts of teenagers and I never knew who they were. I'd play with them like they were action figures and I created these crazy storylines for each character. Tell me where you're hiding the secret plans. I'm not giving them up without a fight. Then prepare to meet your doom. The last time Mom's family went to Ruddy Neck Island, she and her sisters were in high school. Aunt Keiki must have had a boyfriend that summer because there were a bunch of pictures of her next to someone who'd been cut out. But when I asked Mom about Aunt Keiki's boyfriend, she said it was a long time ago and she couldn't remember anything about him. I guess Grandma got sick of cutting ex-boyfriends out of photos because eventually she made a rule that you're not allowed to be in family pictures unless you've officially married in. And that's a little awkward for Vincent, who's been dating Aunt Keiki for 6 years but always has to stand behind the camera when we take our family photos. We learned our lesson about this kind of thing by taking too many pictures of Noah, who dated Aunt Veronica for a while. Everybody in the family loved Noah, and he was front and center in a lot of our pictures. In fact, a couple of times, he even made it into our family newsletter that Grandma mails out every year. Unfortunately, it didn't work out between Noah and Aunt Veronica, so he vanished from the family newsletter. And that made things kind of awkward whenever our family would run into someone who was on the mailing list. Hey, any updates on that Noah fella? But what was even more awkward was when Grandma found out Noah still had a t-shirt from our family reunion, and she went to his gym to make him give it back. I think Vincent's planning on proposing to Aunt Keiki one day, and he knows he needs to get Grandma's blessing first. He's been working hard to impress her, but I can tell she's gonna milk this as long as she can. To be honest, I really don't understand why Vincent's so eager to be part of our family. In fact, if he wants my slot, I'd be happy to just hand it to him. And I don't know if there are any lawyers or paperwork involved in that kind of deal, but I'd be willing to do whatever it takes to get this thing done. Wednesday. Even though I'm not looking forward to spending a week at the beach with my family, there's one thing I am excited about doing, and that's going out to eat. Mom says Ruddy Neck Island has a bunch of restaurants, and I'm planning on eating at a different one every night. At home, we almost never go out to eat, and when we do, it's almost always to a family style restaurant like Corny's. So I'm looking forward to going to a restaurant where they don't use a garden hose to clean off your table. It would also be nice to go to a place where you eat off a plate instead of from a bucket. But I'm kind of worried about how my family might behave at a classy restaurant because the last time we ate at a family place, it didn't go well. We went out for dinner to celebrate mom getting her master's degree, and the restaurant had white linen tablecloths. But my family is used to going to places like Corny's where the tablecloths are made of paper and you can draw on them with crayons and markers. And before anyone realized what he was doing, Manny had covered his end of the table with drawings. I guess those fancy tablecloths are expensive because the restaurant made my parents pay for it. But mom decided that if we had to pay for the tablecloth, that meant we owned it. So we took it home with us. And now we pull it out every time we have a special meal. But whenever one of my cousins come to our house, they write on the tablecloth. And the last time Aunt Gretchen's family came to visit, one of her twins wrote a bad word in 6-inch letters in permanent marker. This thing with the tablecloth never would have happened if the members of my family just knew how to act civilized. My friend Rowley's family eats at their country club at least once a week, so they know how you're supposed to act at a fancy restaurant. But when the Jeffersons invited me to come along with them one time, I had no idea how you were supposed to behave in a place like that. First of all, I'm used to going to places where there are pictures of the different menu items, and you just point out what you want to order. But at the country club, there weren't any pictures, and the menu was all in French. So when Rowley ordered, I thought it sounded kind of goofy. For the record, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. The restaurant also had expensive silverware, and there was a different type of fork for each course, which seemed a little silly to me. I'm just glad we're living in a time where the fork is what we use to eat, because it wasn't all that long ago that people actually used daggers to feed themselves, and it's stressful enough in the cafeteria at my school as it is. There are certain types of food you wouldn't even be able to eat without a fork, and good luck to everyone trying to eat spaghetti with a knife. I wish I'd never learned to master the fork, though. When I was a baby, I really enjoyed being fed by someone else. Here comes the train, choo choo! Once you learn to feed yourself, everyone expects you to keep doing it. But I'm looking forward to the day when I can free up my hands while I'm eating again. Num num! The menus and the silverware weren't the only things that were different about the country club. Anyway, everyone, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. I have more videos planned soon, really soon, actually. Thanks for watching.